All right, let's talk about the world's most popular performance-enhancing drug. Yep, I'm talking about caffeine. It's in your morning coffee, your pre-workout, pretty much everywhere. But is it really the secret weapon that everyone seems to think it is?
You know the drill, right? You're getting ready for a workout, and part of that ritual is chugging a quick cup of coffee or an energy drink. We all do it. But have you ever really stopped to wonder if it's just a placebo or if it's genuinely making you better, faster, and stronger?
Well, wonder no more. The science is in, and it's not just a yes, it's a resounding yes. A massive review of 21 different meta-analyses confirm that caffeine can boost your endurance performance by an average of 2 to 4%. Now, I know that might not sound like a huge number, but in the world of athletics, that's the gap between first and fourth place. It's a huge deal.
So how on earth does a simple cup of coffee pull this off? Well, the secret isn't actually in your muscles. It's all happening upstairs, in your brain.
Okay, to get this, you need to meet our little fatigue molecule, adenosine. Think of it as a progress bar for tiredness. The moment you wake up, it starts building up in your brain. And the more it builds, the more it screams at your brain, hey, time to slow down, time to get sleepy.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. Caffeine is basically a master of disguise. If you look at it on a molecular level, it looks almost identical to adenosine. It's like its chemical twin, a perfect imposter. And that similarity is the key to its superpower.
So, here's the brain hack in 4 simple steps. Think of your brain receptors as parking spots, and adenosine is a car trying to park to make you feel tired. When the spot is open, adenosine parks and boom, you feel fatigue. But when you introduce caffeine, it races to those parking spots and gets there first. It slides right in, blocking adenosine completely. The fatigue signal never gets delivered. You've essentially tricked your brain into staying wide awake and alert.
Okay, so we've hacked the brain. We've blocked the sleepy signals. But what does that actually mean for you, in the gym, on the track, or on the field? Let's look at the real-world results. This is where caffeine is an absolute superstar. Study after study shows that for aerobic endurance, think running, cycling, swimming, the benefits are massive and super consistent. By blocking that feeling of fatigue, you can just push harder for longer. It's that simple.
But hold on, it's not just for the marathon runners out there. Meta-analyses have confirmed that caffeine gives a serious edge in the weight room too. We're talking measurable improvements in your max strength, your explosive power, and even how fast you can move the weight. It helps you lift heavier and faster. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is a direct quote from the International Olympic Committee. In fact, fun fact, caffeine used to be on the World Anti-Doping Agency's ban list because it's so effective. They took it off in 2004, pretty much cementing its status as one of the best legal performance enhancers you can get.
All right, so you're probably convinced by now. You know it works, and you get the science behind it. The big question is, how do you actually use it to get these results?
The science is actually super clear on this. The sweet spot, the dose you want for a performance boost, is between 3 to 6 milligrams of caffeine for every kilogram of your body weight. And listen, more is not better here. Going higher, like up to 9 milligrams, doesn't really give you any more of a boost, but it does dramatically crank up the risk of nasty side effects.
So what does that actually look like in real life? Let's break it down. If you're an 80-kilo person, that's about 176 pounds. Your ideal dose is somewhere between 240 and 480 milligrams. Now, if we figure a normal cup of coffee has around 100 milligrams, you're looking at about 2.5 to, say, 5 cups. You got to do the math for your own body weight.
And of course, timing is everything. The golden rule is to take it about 60 minutes before you start exercising. That's usually when caffeine levels peak in your blood. And it comes in tons of forms: coffee, pills, gels. But here's a cool tip. Some research suggests that caffeinated chewing gum might actually get into your system faster since it's absorbed right in your mouth.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing. It's simple, it's legal, it's effective, but come on, there's got to be a catch, right? It can't be that perfect.
And you're right, there can be. We've all felt those caffeine jitters or a bit of anxiety. But here's the thing, whether that side effect is a good thing or a bad thing really depends on your sport. For a powerlifter, that extra hype and arousal might be exactly what they need to hit a new PR. But for an archer or a tennis player who needs a super steady hand, those same jitters could completely wreck their performance. So context is everything.
Now for the million-dollar question I get all the time. But I drink coffee every single day.
Does it even work for me anymore? It's a fantastic question, and the answer is probably not what you think. While you might get used to the mental buzz from caffeine, the research is pretty clear that the actual performance-enhancing effects don't really go away, even for daily users.
And that kind of brings us to this final big idea. What if caffeine's real magic isn't what it does to your muscles, but what it does to your mind? Its main job is to hijack your brain's perception of how hard you're working. It literally makes hard things feel easier. So maybe, just maybe, the ultimate performance hack isn't about building a stronger body, but about fooling your brain. What do you think?